Hi everyone, it's Lou Collins for CraftStash. So today I want to show you the brand new edition of Die Cutting Essentials. We are at issue 116 now. This is jam-packed with tips, tutorials, beautiful projects that you can be creating. It also comes with some dies as well, designed by the lovely Lisa Horton. So you've got these florals here, you've got the foliage too in a beautiful outline design. And then as an additional extra, if you needed any more, you've also got some fantastic downloads. Now these downloads I've already printed out. I've been cutting into, as you can see, these are only the toppers, the floral toppers. There's also some beautiful backing papers, again in florals, that you can print off too. You'll find these downloads all linked in the description below, so make sure you check these out. Completely free for you to download and print off at home. So from the patterned papers, the floral pattern papers, I've chosen to use this background. It's absolutely beautiful, really nice and bright and colourful. And I've got these die cuts from the dies that are on the front of the magazine, and again they're stunning. Now I've just cut these in white. I want this simplistic, quite modern contemporary card, but when I put them on my background I completely lose them, so you just can't see the design at all. So what I'm going to do is a trick that I learned many years ago and I use it all the time. That's just to put a layer of vellum over the top of the patterned paper. So this is really nice and subtle and it makes a nice accent strip. It dulls down those colours, and then look, you can see those florals much better. And if you want to dull that down even more but still see it through, you could even do 2 layers of vellum instead. So I'm choosing to use an A4 sheet of bright pink paper. This is going to match really nicely with the colours that are in the pattern paper that I'm using. And this is going to be an A6 or close to an A2 size card. That's A6 if you're in the UK and A2 if you're in US. So I've folded it in half and I'm now going to cut it in half again to create 2 10-fold cards. So I can do 2 cards at once here if I wanted. Now when I'm trying to cut a piece of pattern paper to match my card base, I cut 2 of the edges right up to the pattern and place them in the corner of my card base with the amount of border that I'd like to see when this is laid down. Then I take a pencil or sometimes a pokey tool if it's a solid coloured cardstock, and I mark with a pencil the same distance in that corner and the same on this edge, and then take that to my trimmer and cut those 2 edges. There we go, that fits perfectly. So now for my vellum, this is going to lay over just on the left hand side. So I'm just going to lay that, make sure that's nice and straight, and create 1 fold in the top. There we go, turn that over and create a fold over the bottom as well. So all the edges of the vellum are covered up, and you don't need to worry about any adhesive being on the front of your card because vellum is notoriously a little bit difficult to glue down. So just a very small amount of glue. You need to be wary of using a wet glue with this type of paper. If you're doing a card with downloads, for example, that you've printed off at home, your paper is usually thinner. This will usually show through adhesive, so just small amounts where you can. And I'm going to use a double-sided tape around all the edges of this paper, and this is going to seal everything, including that vellum, in. There we have our card base. Now to arrange our flowers on the vellum panel so that we can see them. I'm going to have the 2 flowers just overlapping a little, piece of foliage there, like so, and then another stem just coming up from here. I think that looks quite pretty, so I'm going to glue those together just in this central area here, leaving these areas just to kind of lift up and move about a little. I've got a sentiment topper that comes from the downloads as well. Don't forget those downloads are going to be linked in the description, so you can go and print yours off. Choose whichever pattern paper you wish to use. Use them alongside the magazine dies, or you can even use them on their own. I'm going to be putting this on with a bit of foam tape to raise it up, and it's just going to cover over those stems there, just as if it's almost tying those together. And then we've got a really pretty card made very quickly, Because I've not had to colour my die cuts, because I've not had to paper piece them, I've printed everything off at home as well. So it's a really, really super quick card that I can create in no time at all. As always, if you like tutorials like this, please do subscribe to the CraftStash YouTube channel, and don't forget to check out this playlist here because we think you're going to love some of the videos in there too. Take care everybody, I'll see you again very soon.